Hey YouTube, so today I thought we could talk about scrying. Scrying is the art of divination through a shiny or a mute medium. What do I mean by shiny or mute? There's the crystal ball, as we know. Black mirrors. You can make a black mirror by just taking a usual normal bathroom mirror and you can paint it black, and that's a good tool used for scrying. A bowl of water with ink in is very good for scrying. A candle light just like that's brilliant for scrying. My mind's gone blank. Smoke, you can use incense smoke to scry, or bonfires. And I thought we could talk about how we would do this. So let's start by talking about one of these. This is a crystal ball, my crystal ball. It's a brand new one. In fact, I haven't connected with this one yet, so it's kind of okay for me to have it out and about. This one is Alexandrite crystal ball. Now, the most important thing that you want to look for when you are looking to buy a crystal ball is you need it pretty flawless. You don't really want any bubbles or imperfections within the ball, because I find it can just distract your eye a little bit towards the imperfection rather than nothing at all in the ball in general, if that makes sense. As I always preach, one of the first things you want to do while scrying is you want to cleanse whatever it is that you're using. I mean, it's a bit difficult obviously to cleanse a bonfire or to cleanse incense smoke or things like that, but if you're using a crystal ball or a black mirror or even a mirror, you can scry in normal mirrors. Then it's generally a good idea to cleanse. I have uploaded a video how to cleanse and consecrate, but I'll do a separate video of that for you guys, okay? So the first step, having cleansed the object we're going to use for scrying, is to protect yourself. As with anything with scrying, you are opening a doorway possibly to the spirit world. It is always good practice to protect yourself. So say a little protection prayer to your deity, or ask the angels to just protect you during, your ritual of scrying, and envisage a big white circle surrounding you before you begin your scrying session. Now, how do we start to scry? Okay, let's imagine we're in a room. As with anything, you need to have a quiet mind. A quiet mind is the most important thing you can have, because if you're in a calm meditative state, it will allow the messages to possibly come through easier, but it also allows your concentration. So it's a good idea to spend 5 or 10 minutes just grounding yourself and envisaging the white light, and just quietening your mind, still your mind, ready for the task in hand. So as with anything, I always advise you to do it by candlelight, and never have the candle right beside you like I have here. Always have a candle behind you. The light coming from behind is always better for scrying. And the most important bit of advice I can give you is not to push it. As with me, I'm so impatient. I'm not as clear with using a crystal ball as I would be with fire or with a black mirror. I'm pretty apt at the black mirrors, but the crystal ball I'm finding really difficult to connect with. that's going to take me a little while, I think, and with me, I suffer with really bad lack of concentration. I cannot concentrate for shit, and that's probably half of my problem. But just you don't want to look straight into the crystal ball. You don't want to stare at it intently and grind your teeth and your shoulders all up here. You want to relax, get into a comfortable position, because you're going to be there anything between 20 minutes and 40 minutes. Now, the most important thing that I can advise while scrying is to soften your gaze. Soften your gaze. Not look particularly for anything. Look through the object, if that makes sense. Look through it. Just relax your eyes and just look through it. Just look softly and just try and blink as little as possible, and just wait. The more you look, you should see the ball cloud over, just some clouds creeping, and then you may well see an image. You may only see the clouds. Anything is good. Nothing is still good. It just means to practice a little bit more. And with anything, with any art, practicing is the key. And if you're not very apt at quietening your mind and relaxation and calming yourself, then I would recommend that you work on meditation first. Spend a couple of weeks, months, just learning to relax and quieten your mind, because it can be easy to let the worries of the outside world come in. And if they do, just acknowledge those worries and then move on. Carry on to where you are. So, yeah, the most important thing is to cleanse any object you're using of any outside energies. Then it's ready for you to impart your own. Always invoke protection, always. Never cut corners. Even with a pendulum, you need protection. You're opening a doorway to something that we don't necessarily understand. So my best advice would be to protect yourself. And then when you finish the session, just close your circle of protection and give thanks. Take your time. Take your time. Don't try and rush it. And the more you try to force these things, the harder it will be to come to you. And it can take months and months to learn the art of scrying. Do you ever go off into a daydream? You know, if you're perhaps sat on the bus and you're not particularly looking at anything as you're travelling on your journey, but you just find your eyes just drifting off and you're just drifting away to another world. That's kind of the first level of scrying. And that's where you want to begin, really. You want to try and establish that kind of rapport and then move on from there. And practice, just keep practicing and you'll eventually get it. So this is Bibsy and a broomstick on the art of scrying. Blessed be.